It's about time, it's about time. Well, hello and welcome to this week's vlog. Thank you so much for your great response to last week. I'm so pleased that you liked the extract of I'll Take New York. Now I've got some more planned in the next few weeks, so keep your eyes peeled on my blog because it will come up. This will be the place that you can see them. I'm going to share some more bits. I'm going to introduce B. I'm going to introduce Jake. I'm going to hint at maybe some of the things that are in there for those of you who loved Fairy Tale of New York, and so you've got some ideas without giving too much away, so that you've got an idea of what's coming. So look forward to that. Hope that's going to be okay. Now, I asked for your questions, and once again inundated with questions, which is lovely. So I'm going to answer them this week, but I've got some more coming in the next couple of weeks. So if I haven't answered your question in this vlog, it means it's coming soon. So keep your eyes peeled and I'll get round to it. So first question is from Twitter. Katie, not wed or dead on Twitter. Hello, thank you very much for your question. Katie wants to know, do you ever imagine your book as a film? I do actually. I think because when I write my stories, I tend to sort of write visually, I sort of see them in my head, if that makes sense. So the thought of it moving from the page to the screen doesn't seem that much of a jump. From a personal point of view, I would be fascinated to see how somebody adapted my story for the screen. Obviously there's things that you can go into in a lot of detail in a book that you can't do in a hour and a half, 2 hour film. So I'd be interested to see what the themes that somebody pulled out of my story. Obviously it would be great to go and sit and watch a film and know that you'd actually written it. I think that would be incredible. So yeah, we always live in hope, and I don't think there's many authors today who wouldn't be chuffed if their book was made into a film. So yes, I do think that. And maybe one day, maybe Mr. Richard Curtis, if you're watching, you are my dream director. I would love you to make my book into a film. Of course it won't happen, but there we go. So yeah, we'll see. Keep your eyes peeled and your fingers crossed that maybe something like that would happen. So there you go, the answer to that is yes. So hope that answers your question. Okay, next question is from Jenny, who is at LoveJennyWren on Twitter. Hi Jenny, thank you very much for your question. Jenny wants to know, when you write a story, do you plan each chapter or write it out as you go along? If it was down to me, I'd start at the beginning and see where I ended up. I don't really have an idea of where I want the story to go, but writing a book a year means I have to be a little bit more structured. So what I tend to do is write out kind of an outline of where I want it to go, the key things that happen in the book. But that's by no means everything that happens in the book, because I always like to leave a little bit of room for the characters to kind of make up their own minds, which will sound crazy to anybody who's not a writer. But anyone who is a writer will go, oh yeah, that happens. Sometimes when you're writing, you get these kind of serendipitous moments where something just occurs to you and you go down that road and it actually changes something further down the line of the story, or it kind of enriches the story in a way that you couldn't have seen at the beginning when you were plotting it out. So I have like a general idea of what's going to happen, and then I leave some room for my characters to surprise me. So I hope that answers your question. And my last question is actually two questions together. There's two people who asked me kind of more or less the same question on Facebook, Mandy Cook and Melanie Banyan. Hello, thank you very much for your wonderful questions. They wanted to know, how am I finding time to write now that I have flow, and is she helping or hindering my creativity? That's a really interesting question. Certainly when I was expecting her, I seemed to have a sudden impetus to get things done, and I had a sudden flood of creativity while I was writing her. I came up with loads of sort of ideas. I wrote I'll Take New York in about 2.5 months, wrote and edited it because I was kind of in the right headspace for it. It has to be said, having a brand new baby means that you can't just go and sit up in your office and write for hours, which is what I would have done before. And I'm still technically on maternity leave. I don't start writing what will be book 7, which will be my first book for Pam Macmillan. I don't start writing that again really until the start of next month, so I'll give myself a couple of months off just to be a mom. But what I would say is, when you're feeding a baby, when you're changing nappies, when they're asleep, it doesn't stop the creativity flowing. And if anything, I think I've had more ideas since I've had flow than I did maybe in the couple of years beforehand, where it was writing a book a year and getting used to sort of working on that structure. So in a weird way, she's actually helped my creativity, because I've had a lot of time to think, especially, you know, if you're getting up in the middle of the night and you've got a baby in a bottle, you've got a lot of time to sort of mull things over. And I have had quite a few ideas. I've started a couple of ideas where I'm starting to kind of outline things, one of which is completely different to anything I've written before. And even if nothing kind of comes of it, it kind of feels good to me to have that headspace to think of those stories without thinking, right, I've got to get this done because I've got a deadline. Because I'm not having a deadline, it's quite freeing. So kind of a bit of both, really. It makes it difficult to fit time in, because obviously I have a 9-week-old baby and they do tend to take up quite a bit of your time. But from a creative point of view, I think she's actually inspired me. I think not necessarily to write about characters with babies, it's just that you have that headspace. So I hope that answers your question. So there we go, that's the questions for this week. Like I say, next week I've got some more of your questions coming, but there's always room for more. So if there's something that you'd like to know, all you need to do is leave a comment under this blog post, or you can tweet me at Wordsmith on Twitter. You can send me a message at Facebook. I'm Miranda Dickinson Author on Facebook, or you can email me Miranda Wordy, get my teeth in, mirandawordy@gmail.com. So have a great week, think of some great questions, send them in to me. Keep your eyes peeled for some more sneaky extracts, because they're coming soon. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye. It's about time.